going to be shocked at what we got for number 3. So number 1, take out a 4x, that leaves behind 5x minus 6y. I think we're all good there. So I'm out on those 2 papers. Number 2, everybody took out the GCF 8y squared, leaving behind 2x minus 3z plus 5. Number 3 is not prime. Number 3 is a difference of squares. It is x minus y, x plus y.
Whoa, wait, calm down there.
Great. And number 2 is not, number 4 is not a difference of squares. So I was happy with this one because a lot of us saw the 9 and the 4, but it's a plus sign, not a minus, therefore not a difference of squares. And then the 5th one, this one is the one like you could manipulate like a whole bunch of different ways because some of you don't like when the number is negative and the variable is positive. Or if the variable is second and the number is not, so you could have rearranged that to 4m squared minus 64. You could, again, take out a GCF of 4 in either order, giving 4 times m minus 4m plus 4. I think on some of yours I saw we forgot to take out our GCF and we still have the 2m minus 8, 2m plus 8. So again, our goal is to get to the first. And then in the last one, you were foiling. So again, just making the connection between factoring and foiling. Because today, we are going to do FOIL in reverse. So we're going to do FOIL in reverse. So we're going to start with something like 2y squared plus 14y plus 12. And get it to 2y plus 2 times quantity y plus 6. And we're going to do that using a combination of the magic x and factor by grouping. So here are some hints to help you when you choose. You want to look at the last term. If the last term is positive, then the 2 terms in the middle are going to give you the sign, and they are going to be the same. So if the middle term is negative, both factors are negative. If the middle term is positive, both factors are positive. If the last term is negative, then your factors must have different signs. Okay, so example number 1, we want to factor 3x squared plus 11x plus 6. So in order to eliminate or avoid guess and check, I introduced you to at the beginning of the week the magic x. So what we do is we multiply the first and the last. So 3 times 6 is 18. The bottom is your 11. So you want to find 2 numbers that multiply to 18 but add to 11. So in this case, that is 9 and 2. We are going to take those 2 numbers and we are going to create a factor by grouping problem by replacing the 11 with 9 and 2. So you're going to make your problem expanded. So this is going to become 3x squared plus 9x plus 2x. So you're replacing the 11x with 9 and 2. By definition, if you had to combine like terms, is 9x plus 2x 11x? Have I algebraically changed this problem? No. All I did was manipulate it. Now what you're going to do is what we did yesterday, which is factor by grouping. You have 4 terms. 4 terms says you group the first 2 together and the last 2 together. Take out your GCF. In factor by grouping, when you take out the GCF, you take out the GCF of a factor to get our final answer. So I told you today we were factoring by a method I like to call or refer to as reverse FOIL. So if I were to take away the factor by grouping line, I'm just showing you how this is reverse FOIL. FOIL says first outer, inner, I know mine are alive, and last. So when you do factor by grouping, you are setting up FOIL in reverse, essentially. That's why factoring and FOILing are so interrelated. Okay? Next up, 4x squared plus 16x plus 7. So off to the side, you work your magic x. 4 times 7 is 28. I need 2 numbers that multiply to 28, but add to 16. So again, top and bottom, or all 3 terms are positive. Therefore, my factors are positive. And I have 14 and 2. The order that you put in the factors does not matter. The order you put in the factors. So last time I did 9 plus 2. You could technically write 2 plus 14 or 14 plus 2. The order doesn't matter. It's just what you get left behind will change. So like if I did 2x first versus 14x first, when I group them, what I factor out one time will be what stays behind the other. So again, it doesn't matter. Your final answer will both work out the same. So what I mean is like here, I factored out the 2x plus 7, whereas here, the 2x plus 7 is what stays inside, and I take out the 2x plus 1. If when you're grouping them, there is no GCF other than 1, you take out a 1. Make sure you get your final line of 2x plus 7, 2x plus 1, because that's my answer line. Don't stop short. So again, there are 3 different cases. You have the case where both terms are positive. We have the case where both terms are going to be negative when you multiply them together. So here I have 5x squared minus 13x plus 8. So my top number is positive, but my bottom number is negative. If my top is positive and my bottom is negative, both factors have to be negative. Because the only way to get a positive up top, but add 2 numbers together, is for both numbers to be be negative. So I'm going to replace my 13 with 5 and 8. Sometimes the number you replace it with are the numbers you multiply on the outer edges. So this is like yesterday, if you have two negative numbers and that third number is negative, you got to make sure you put the negative inside your parentheses because it's going to come out in your GCF. Okay, go ahead and set up the next one. So you have 3 and negative 4. So that's going to give you a negative 12. And then I need two numbers that multiply to negative 12, but add to negative 4. So 6 and 2 would work if one did not have, and then your 6 and 2 are 8, so one needs to be positive and one needs to be negative because my top number is negative now. So this is my next case. In this case, since the bottom is negative, I'm going to make my 6 negative. If one of my factors is negative and one of my factors is positive, write the negative factor first. Because now, when you do your grouping, you don't have to worry about pulling a negative GCF out. So if one factor is negative and one is positive, put the negative one first. You don't have to worry about pulling out a negative GCF. See what I'm saying? So again, if I put that negative one first, I take out my 3x, left with x minus 2. So I have 3x plus 2, x minus 2. Anytime that third number is negative, you're going to have one of each. Okay, take a minute for the bottom 4. I'm going to walk around and check them while you work. I want to make sure we're okay. I don't have questions kind of on. Now, magic X and factor by grouping is not mandatory. You are more than welcome to guess and check these. I have kiddos that like to guess and check. The magic X is simply a method that works every time. Takes the guessing out. It also works even if you do not have an A value. Works for difference of squares. Awesome. So looks like everybody pretty much got that first one. 2x plus 3, x plus 4. I think I saw everybody had it correct. think I hit everybody for this one too. That was 4x plus 3, x plus 1. No, order, so since they're multiplication and the multiplication is commutative, the order we write them doesn't matter. Okay. 2x minus 3x minus 2. And then the last one, I feel like the last one, a lot of us were kind of staring at our magic x for a while. Alright, so for the last one, okay, we have 3x squared minus 16x minus 12. So your magic x is 3 and negative 12, which is negative 36. Your bottom number is negative 16. So in this case, since top is negative and bottom is negative, you need one negative and one positive. So negative 18 and positive 2 will do your trick. And then you have 3x squared minus 18x plus 2x minus 12. Take out a 3x, leaving x minus 6. Take out a 2, x minus 6. And we get x minus 6, 3x plus 2. Okay. So your homework is just going to be the front and back of that next page in your packet. Remember, always look for a GCF. So as your numbers get bigger, look for GCFs, and it will take your numbers to being smaller. Again,